Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, welcome back to Until We Agree. Second of all, you're about to witness podcasting history. Tyler, tell us why.
Never in my life have I seen... It's a foot race, but not in the type that we usually talk about, but a foot race on a podcast. Or heard one.
Yeah.
Now, we've agreed to both go run a mile right after we do a certain thing called the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to go and run a mile. Matt's going to go run a mile. Whoever gets back here first wins.
Well, no. Okay,
And-
no. It's not a race. It's not a race because I know I'm
Well,
gonna lose. I know I'm gonna lose
kind of is
because
a
let me set the scene. I've run twice in the last 10 years long distance. Long distance being like more than a mile. Those 2 times were in the last like 5 days.
So you're primed. You've
I'm
run more miles than me in the last 5 days is what I'm hearing.
so out of condition, but I thought it'd be so funny to run a mile, and then we're gonna come back right after we do the hit it blank. We're going to immediately jump into the podcast.
What is hit it blank going to sound like?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. So the second you hear our voices is the second we finish this run. There is no time being wasted.
It'll probably be quite wheezy.
Yeah.
It may be unintelligible.
Yeah.
But just hear how we sound now, and then hear how we sound in about for what us is going to feel like eternity will be instant for you guys. You guys will hear some nice singing, and then you'll hear maybe some wheezing in your ear, and we apologize for that. But
yeah.
Do you have anything else to say, Matt?
It took me 30 minutes to recover from this mile the first time I did it. We'll see what happens this time. And you know what? Hit it, Hutch.
You know what it is now, boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Please tell me you're back. Hello? Did I beat him? I feel like I'm dying. I ran way too fast. Why did I run so fast? I thought he was going to go so fast. Okay. I don't know how anyone does it. It hurts so bad. And it never feels good. Whoever says it feels good to run, they're absolutely lying to you. If you're thinking about starting to run, just don't do it. Don't do it. It's torture. It's torture with no payoff. Every part of my body.
I'm back.
Every part of my body.
back.
Hurts. Dude, every part of my
Okay.
body. Why did we do that?
Did you just get back?
Like 30 seconds ago, maybe?
I left my keys on accident and I had to go back. What was your time? Mine was 7:02.
Oh, dude. Okay, you won. I was like 7:55.
Okay.
Which was my
That's
first
good.
time.
I was fighting for my life to be sub 7, but I just couldn't do it.
No, yeah, it was my first time. First time sub 8 in my 3 runs in the last 10 years. I don't know why.
That's good though. That's progress.
No, I just was talking to the Rat Pack. They
Okay.
said it sucks. We should just
does
stop.
suck.
Never again.
No, I think we do it next week.
Okay. So
I felt good. I felt good until it hit 0.8, and I ramped it up.
that's the thing.
And I was like, all right, I got to sprint to finish, and then I shouldn't have done that.
That's the thing is, running is so easy for like until it
Most
stops.
of the time.
Until it stops being easy,
And then it's the hardest thing you've ever
and
done.
it's so much worse.
Oh man.
So, you have a bathroom story for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Later.
This is so bad.
Don't catch your breath. There's no time.
Okay.
It's
okay.
an audio medium.
It's not really much of a story. It's just today I went to a public restroom. You know how you do.
Sure.
And there's a guy with a mullet in there at
Okay.
the urinal. And at first I was like, okay, guy with a mullet at the urinal. What's the big deal?
Hey, quick pause.
And,
quick pause.
Yeah.
I can't see out of my eyes anymore. Is that bad?
That's bad. That's
Okay.
really bad.
Okay.
That's really bad.
Oh wait, I just opened them. They're fine.
Oh. Okay. What was I saying?
You got to the urinal with the mullet guy.
Yeah, I did. Oh, right. I saw him. I said, whatever. And then he just, because it looked like, I'm going to be grotesque here. It looked like he was using the urinal with two hands.
What does that mean? Where were his hands?
Well, I don't know. They were down because I couldn't see him. But then he starts chugging an energy drink with his left hand. And I was like, that's got to be, why was it down there? And why are you drinking it now?
Oh, no.
And it's just like, maybe they could wait and like I would never bring a drink into the bathroom, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. This is actually a perfect segue. I actually had a bathroom story today, now that you reminded me of one. Okay, I think I'm doing better. It's not going to take 30 minutes this time, I don't think.
No, we're good. I think the adrenaline has hit from Until We Agree.
So.
Oh, we're Matt and Tyler from Until We Agree.
We're Matt and Tyler from Until We Agree, by the way. Okay, so I was going to lunch today at the office, and I stopped at the bathroom and left my water bottle on the counter in the kitchen like a normal human. That's not the point of the story, though. I just wanted to point out that it's possible to do. The point of the story. The point of the story
on me.
is there was a guy around our age who hurt his knee or ankle or something. He was on crutches over the weekend. He hurt himself, and he was at the urinal next to me, and he was there before me, but like I finished before him, like going to the bathroom. But like my thought was, it's gonna be really awkward if we have to like go out the door together. If we wash our hands together and then we go out the door together. I don't want to help him out the door, which I know makes me a bad person, but it felt more socially acceptable to just let him deal with the door by himself with his crutches, and I just pretend like I'm still at the urinal. So I stood there for about 30 extra seconds, just waiting for him to leave.
Well, that seems bad. Actually.
I feel like I need to talk about it because I kind of felt like a bad person after, but like I don't think I would do it differently in the future. So yeah, that was my bathroom story.
Nice. I'm fully recovered now. I'm good.
Oh yeah, I am too. Welcome back to Until We Agree. This is Matt and Tyler from Until We Agree. Follow us on Instagram at Until We Agree, and follow us on TikTok at Until We Agree. Once we get to 10,000, I just hit a second wind of being tired.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's like 10,000 followers. We're going to New York City to get a billboard on Times Square and foot race, a sprint, the way nature intended us to run, fast and for a short distance in a straight line. So we're gonna do that in Times Square, 40-yard dash, fastest time wins, and gets all the ad revenue for 10 years from Until We Agree. So. Welcome back to Until We Agree.
I think we're going to keep doing the mile. We're going to keep doing the mile until Matt beats me. So
I think we're never running ever again.
Okay. We'll see.
I got back first, that's for sure. And that in itself is, I think, a victory.
Well, you did get back first, but I think what's important to note is that I probably had to run a 1/10 of a mile to get to the gym where I did this on the treadmill.
You did on the treadmill? No, that's cheating. You can't do it on the treadmill.
You put incline to make it just like real life.
No, but you get paced on the treadmill, you know?
And I hear you. The issue was I did not charge my Apple Watch, and so I had no way of tracking the mileage. So that was my only way to track it.
Doesn't it?
But
I see what you're saying.
That's why I use the treadmill.
Dude, I've got a great app. I use this app. It's perfect. It tracks so well. Anyways, enough of this run-in talk. Let's get into a debate. Or do you want to talk about Bill Cosby for some reason?
For some reason, listen, check our story right now. You're going to see the most shocking picture you've ever seen. And it's at Until We Agree.
That's hearsay.
It's Matt Howard.
Allegedly.
Matt Howard. Basically hugging Bill Cosby.
No, allegedly Matt Howard. And it's allegedly a statue of Bill Cosby back in like 2013 before we knew everything we did know about him. It was at Disney World when I was a child. So yeah, go look at a picture of a child on that Until We Agree if that's what you're really interested in. And you'll see that I'm a boy. I'm a churlish little boy who didn't know any better because no one knew any better. We all thought he was the lovable family man, Bill Cosby. I maintain my innocence for whatever you're talking about.
Bro.
So here's something speaking of work, I have a great debate for us.
Okay.
So I was sitting in the office last week as one does when they're working sometimes, and I was sitting in kind of like you would call it a meeting. It was a group of people in a room having a discussion. So it's like a meeting. And the leader of the meeting said this quote that I thought was really interesting, that I think really fit. I'm not out of breath, I promise. That I think really fit the attitude of the podcast at Until We Agree on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube at Until We Agree. So she said, it physically can't be cereal if it's just a bowl of milk and one Cheerio in it. And I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
It physically can't be cereal?
That's what she said.
I guess she thinks that cereal is plural. But I don't know if you can think like that.
She said, okay, let me
does that mean if you're eating cereal and you have maybe 100 Cheerios in a bowl and you get down and you eat 99 of them and there's that pesky one that won't hit the spoon, is that not, you're not eating cereal anymore? What are you eating? It's
no longer.
One single Cheerio?
Well, let me clarify. She did. This was just a quote I caught in the moment. I just need to write down really fast. She was talking about a bowl of cereal. So she said it physically can't be cereal if it's just a bowl of milk and one Cheerio in it. Think of it more like it physically can't be a bowl of cereal if it's just a bowl of milk and one Cheerio in it. And that's it. There was never more than one Cheerio in it. You put a bunch of milk in a bowl and then put one Cheerio in it. Is that a bowl of cereal still?
If that's, I probably wouldn't call it a bowl of cereal if you're just dropping one Cheerio in it. But if it used to be 100 Cheerios and now it's just the one left, I mean, you're just finishing your bowl of cereal.
I'm glad you said that, because I would say it is a bowl of cereal. Why would it not be?
Because if you're just dropping one piece of Cheerio into a bowl of cereal, it's just one piece of Cheerio, and by bowl of cereal I mean bowl of milk. Then it's just a bowl of milk with a Cheerio in it.
This is classic.
Cereal feels plural to me.
Okay,
but I don't think you can just take away its cereal card when it reaches one at the same time.
That's the thing, is like, think about how many ingredients make up one single piece of Cheerio. That's why you're so wrong on this, because one Cheerio can be a bowl of cereal if there's milk in it too, because you're thinking too linear. That's the problem with you and all these debates, is you think too straight line. Well, some people like to be free thinkers, and I know your kind wouldn't love free thinkers because you like to dominate and stomp on those you see lesser than. But I would say,
I'm sorry,
why would it not be? Yeah, you know your kind.
What does that mean?
Well, you and your friend you and your friend Moose.
Bro, I'm lost.
Mussolini? Ever heard of Mussolini?
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is, for an artist, you would think you would like to be more abstract in your thought, but you really get stuck in your little box. That's probably why you didn't get into art school and kind of went down the path you did with you and your friend.
What are you talking about?
You don't think outside the box. You think too straight line.
I didn't go to art school. Wait a second.
I'm saying you're kind of people.
I didn't even apply to art school.
You, Mussolini, etc. Your kind of people don't like free thinkers. You like to stomp on them and put them below you so you can maintain your power stance. And I'm sick of it. I don't think you actually ran the mile because you were on a treadmill. That in itself should be a debate. And let me just call out,
I ran an extra quarter mile. I texted you every time I hit a landmark. Did you like that? I mean, updating you?
I wasn't checking that. I'm looking at that just now. You said 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. You didn't even get to a mile.
Yeah, I didn't update you because I knew we would talk about it when I got back. I got to a mile.
Rewriting the rules to make it convenient to you. Reminds me of someone else I've heard of in the history books.
Bro, I don't like where you're taking this.
You just don't think abstract. You always get caught in these like, oh, we gotta live by the definition. No. Think a little bit outside the box. Think outside the bowl of cereal. We've talked about cereal like 8 times in this podcast.
And I'm tired of it.
Cereal is soup. One piece of Cheerio and a bowl of milk is cereal. I don't see how you can argue that, because it's all the basic components, but it's not in the way that you're used to. It's not the blue-eyed, blonde-haired version of the cereal that you're used to eating.
Listen, that's
I'm
way
listening.
too many references towards someone that I think we can both say is a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Was a bad person even.
I would definitely say that. I'm glad that you're finally taking that stance.
Finally?
Yeah. Anyways.
You know where we should get back to?
What's that?
The people never got this answer. Where were you the day that Trump got shot in Pennsylvania? Where were you? Because we never uncovered that.
I can tell you, it's just my calendar got lost in the mail, so I can't remember exactly where I was.
Well, I think that's suspicious. And you were getting real buddy with Bill Cosby.
Allegedly getting buddy with Bill Cosby.
Why do you keep saying allegedly? You don't remember?
Because we don't know if it was me or not. That's just a picture of a guy
who
looks
remember
kind of
that
like
happening? Do you remember that
necessarily,
happening?
not necessarily. It was before
But that's telling in itself.
It was in the midst. It was in
if you don't remember it,
okay,
that's telling in itself. And so
right.
I think you were with Bill Cosby that day.
Okay, fine. I remember it. Big deal. And it was fine. Everything was fine. I was in the middle of my Crohn's, the rock bottom of my Crohn's disease, by the way. No cure for it. Thanks for reminding me of that. That was crazy. You know why we were in Disney World for that trip? Because I was about to have surgery on my small intestine to have it deflamed, and my parents felt bad,
who?
so they took
Who?
what?
Who?
Asked. I know, but you should
who
feel
asked, bro?
you should feel
Let's
bad
go.
about it because you're making fun of my Crohn's disease now. I don't get it. What's your deal today?
Allegedly.
All right, that's fair. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I know we have some Q&As, but what I was going to say, that you kind of pointed this out, so Conan O'Brien, known enemy of the show now, Conan O'Brien, launched a new podcast where he just argues with, Jordan Schlansky. If you know Conan O'Brien, you know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they just argue about nonsense, and I feel like they've completely, what?
At the very end of the episode, you know what they say? Well, it looks
At
like
least
we
can
finally
come to a point of agreement.
They agreed on one thing. That's the whole. We've been doing that for a year now.
Bar for bar, word for word, man. I think Conan's going to hear from our lawyer.
Do we have one?
I think we can scrounge together one.
I'm sure our funds can match the Conan fund, no problem. But yeah, what's it? Do you not think he's had enough? Like he's been to the top of the world. He's traveled the world. He's been in the pinnacle of entertainment. He was on NBC for like 3 months. I've been in the Jimmy Fallon audience once. That was it. That's all I got.
Was that when we were in New York?
That was when we were in New York simultaneously.
Who were the guests?
This is actually really cool. So remember when all that stuff came out about Jimmy Fallon when he was like yelling at interns and stuff?
Yeah.
And like everyone started to hate on Jimmy Fallon. Well, yeah. And then like Jerry Seinfeld like had to get in between Jimmy Fallon and an intern and make Jimmy Fallon apologize for being so like evil towards him. That was.
I don't remember that specifically, but
okay.
I believe that.
Well, maybe that may have just been like a piece that like we like researched heavily because that was the day we were there. They were filming like some skit, and you can look it up. We saw it get like aired live in the studio because it was a pre-recorded skit, and they aired it for us. And it was Jimmy Fallon and Jerry Seinfeld dressed up as like giant, oversized Lego men. And like in the middle of that scene, apparently, what like the reports were saying was Jimmy Fallon was being like evil towards these interns, and like Jerry Seinfeld had to get in the middle of Jimmy Fallon and make him apologize for being so mean. And everyone knows that Jerry Seinfeld's kind of like a mean guy himself. So if Jerry Seinfeld was saying like, "Hey Jimmy, you're kind of crossing the line here," maybe it was pretty bad. And that was the day we were there. It was crazy. And the other guest was some lady who was in James Bond, the James Bond movie that was coming out, but I don't remember her name. But Jimmy Fallon.
De Armas?
No, it was some French lady. But Jimmy Fallon was very personable to the audience, but apparently he had been very mean that day, which was crazy. Not known enemy of the show like Conan O'Brien though. So
no, not yet.
Not yet. Keep an eye out. Wait till we do our own tight pants skit. I don't know. I started to say that sentence and I realized I didn't know much about Jimmy Fallon anymore. I'm not super up to date on what he's been doing.
Yeah, me neither. He was kind of dominating the internet like 10 years ago, I feel like.
I know, he was so his show was so YouTubeable.
Yeah, they late night took over YouTube for a few years there.
Yeah.
There was that. There was carpool karaoke.
There was
carpool karaoke.
There was Molly by Lil Dicky featuring Brendan Urie.
Now, wait a second, because I don't think that was
same era.
Late night though. It wasn't really late night, but hey,
buddy,
that's a good call out though.
Thanks, man. How about you hear about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars?
What?
Yeah, crazy, right? So, Q&A this week. Tyler asks, "Do comments work?" That's
and do
right.
They work?
Comments now work. you can post anything. And what's been happening for the last couple of months is I've had to review every comment that comes through and post them myself. But now they just post live. So if you want to leave a comment, no review period. You can say whatever you want, and it'll just be visible for the world to see. So yeah, if you're on Spotify, leave a comment and vote on the poll while you're at it. I won last week's poll, like I always do. It still feels good, but I'm getting kind of tired of the no competition. I'm almost positive I won this week too.
No. Real quick, since you tried to scam our fans, the sticker winner is Ronnie. So congratulations, Ronnie.
Scam our fans.
You're getting you're getting stickers next time I see you.
Okay, here's the thing: is you've had just as equal amount of opportunity to tell Ronnie about the sticker than me.
No, because you've been trying to keep it quiet. So.
It slipped my mind that we did that. But yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Congrats. You have access to the Instagram. You could have posted that yourself.
Now I will say
I forgot about it.
There was another. Who else? I thought we had another person in the running. We should just give them stickers too.
Yeah, it was Noah's wife, and I feel like
Taylor. Yeah,
Noah has earned a sticker too.
Yeah,
so
you guys will get stickers.
Yeah,
you'll get stickers as well.
That's the thing. If you're just nice to us and give us 5 stars, you'll probably just get a sticker too. Everyone's given us 5 stars has gotten a sticker so far. So leave us 5 stars and just see what happens. Something good will happen. Just let us know. But yeah, that's one Q&A. Kim has a Q&A question for us. Your best and worst Halloween costumes from years past.
Well, my best would have to be last year.
Yeah, I agree.
I was Cowboy Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
Worst? I don't know. Because like plenty of years I don't think I even dressed up. But one year in college I just ordered like a $20 karate gi on Amazon, and I just was a karate guy.
I think that's been posted on Instagram, hasn't it? Until we agree.
Yeah. That's from that.
That wasn't
even Halloween. That wasn't even Halloween.
Yeah, that was just like
I was just wearing it one day and screamed into the camera. So.
You were just wearing a karate outfit. That's crazy. My worst costume, which is probably everyone's worst costume, was 3-hole punch Jim from The Office. Did that I think
that sounds
3
like
or 4 years in a row. And my best outfit was I had a full-on, when I was a boy, I had a full-on Buzz Lightyear like functioning suit. Had the helmet and everything with the wings. So that was definitely the best one. Not like a fun answer, but like if we're being honest, Halloween's for kids, and I crushed it when I was a kid.
I would die to see you in that costume.
I think now the same size and everything.
Yes.
I bet you would. You freak.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, you are sick. So, remember a few episodes ago when I was like, I made a comment just so I could remember to tell a story, and then I forgot what the story was that I wanted to tell?
Yeah. No, and the audience laughed at you.
Yeah. Well, good news for some people, bad news for most. I don't remember that story still. But I thought of another story, left a comment in the exact same fashion, but I remember this story. So, here's the question. Speaking of childhood, can you name a time from childhood where you learned that life isn't fair? And this is a pretty defining story in my life that I'm happy to share in the podcast. You can think about your answer while I tell this one. It's going to take 45, 60 minutes. So dial in, grab some popcorn, get some body armor, and just listen up. So back in the day, like when you're like in middle school, high school, even before that, sometimes you have like neighbors and friends who go out of town, but they have pets, and you have to, and like what would happen is you would leave your pet at your house still, and then you'd have like a friend or a neighbor boy or girl come and get your mail, and then take the dog out, and then give the dog some water and food. So one of my friends, who's a listener of the show, by the way, the reason I wanted to tell the story was I like woke up in the middle of the night and I remembered this story, and it still makes me mad to this day because I got wronged by a trusted adult, which in like a very like blatant way that like she got away with it because she was the trusted adult and I was just a little boy who was a victim of her for frankly, I still to this day don't know what the reason is. So I'm taking care of my friend's dog. Let's call the friend Graham. That's his name, allegedly. And they had this dog named Billy, and I would I think this was senior year of high school, and they all went out of town one weekend, and I was taking care of the dog. I would go 3 times a day to take the dog on like a walk. You would walk it would walk a long way. It was a big dog, So I'd walk it like a mile 3 times a day, basically. I take it through like the backwoods and it's outside a trail behind their house. And I give it food, give it water. Started on a Friday. I came home after school, and it was on a Friday night football game night. So I had to go take the dog out. I did it early. And so this is kind of where the story starts. Is I took the dog out. I had fourth period off because I had this thing called dual enrollment, which means you take like a college class in high school. And so I only had that class 2 or 3 days a week. I didn't have it on Friday. So I got to leave at like 2 p.m. on Fridays. So I went to Graham's house to walk Billy at like 2:30ish compared to like 3:34, which it would have been if I got out of school at the normal time. So I do that, get it done, give him food, give him water, and then I go on my way. And all the while, there's a neighbor who is a mutual friend who I go to school with, and her mom is kind of like the emergency contact if like something goes wrong with Billy the dog while Graham and his family is out of town. So like I would reach out to her if I needed like something urgently done. And so I get a text from her daughter who I know and is like, "Hey, did you take Billy out?" And I was like, and she was like, "My mom didn't see you do it." And I was like, kind of weird that you're watching this house that closely. But yeah, I did. I texted her back. I was like, "Yeah, I did it like 2:30." So I already get this weird vibe from this woman. And here's the backstory: is like their family cat or dog had just died, and so she was like kind of like hoping that she could take. I think she just wanted to take care of Billy for the weekend, and they didn't ask her. Not that they like knew to ask her, but I think that's the reason. Is she was very involved in me taking care of Billy to live vicariously through me having this animal to care for. So all this being said, I go on Saturday. I go back on Friday night after the football game, take Billy out one more time. No issue there. No questions or anything. Everything's fine. Saturday rolls around. I do it morning, afternoon, no problems. And I come back at like 6 or 7 p.m. and I run into her. She's just outside. Don't think anything of it, but we start talking and she's like, "Hey, I will take Billy on the walk," because the next morning was Sunday. And she was like, "They're getting back at like 10, but I know you're supposed to come here at like 7 or 8 and take the dog out and take him on a walk. So I'll just take the dog for a walk in the morning." I go, "Oh, I mean, okay. Why would I have any reason not to trust you, the adult, who is also in charge of this dog somewhat, to just do that?" And so what happens is Sunday morning rolls around. I don't take the dog out because I'm like, she said she would do it. That's fine. But all power to her. She doesn't have a dog anymore. She wants to walk this dog. Okay. Afternoon rolls around. I don't hear anything. And Graham texts me and goes, "Hey, why didn't you walk Billy this morning? Blank's mom texted my mom." Oops. Texted my mom and said that you didn't show up. So she just had to walk Billy and give him food and water herself. And I go, "What the? Hello?" She literally told me that I was dismissed, and she was kind of like the person, basically she was the one in charge, and I was just like doing everyone the favor of walking the dog for like the $15 or $20 I was going to get for doing this over the course of a weekend. Frankly, I didn't care if you asked Blank's mom to do it instead of me. I would have never known, but I was asked to do this, and then she had like this authority figurehead over me. So I listened to her, and when she said she was going to walk the dog, I listened to her. She turned against me to get me fired. And to this day, I've told Graham, and Graham believes me. Graham says Graham knows that the truth will set me free. But his parents never, I never got asked to walk or take care of Billy ever again. That was it. And I was like, what did I feel like I didn't do anything. Should I have probably just said, "No problem, I'll come on Sunday and do it"? Maybe, I guess so, but like, she was like in charge. I know, that's what I would have never stood up to the adult who said she wanted to walk the dog who lives next door. I had to drive to Graham's house to do this. I was doing them a favor. And so she was then returning a favor to me by walking the dog for me. So like, I don't know. I just am, to this day, it still kind of makes me frustrated because that was like the first time that like, I was like, oh, life is a game and you have to play the game. And it still bothers me to this day. I try not to do that. I don't think I've ever done that to someone. But like, man, I felt so double crossed there, and I was just so caught off guard, and it ended up affecting me long term. Not long term. How long term though? It affected my relationship with Graham's parents long term. Was I in his wedding this past summer as a groomsman, and they were very welcoming and kind to me? Yes, but deep down, are they going to be
at your wedding?
I invited them.
I'm gonna set the record straight.
Please do. That would actually. Can you do it in the best man speech? Say.
That's the plan. Yes.
Okay. Matt is a great guy who would never just abandon Billy the dog unless told otherwise. So.
See, I was thinking more of a Matt's a great guy, but he did abandon Billy the dog.
That would be hearsay, blasphemy, and Blank's mom is not coming to the wedding, so you would be proving nobody's point there.
There's 2 bills I'm going to be adding to the best man speech. We got Cosby and the dog.
Oh, don't bring Cosby into it. I shouldn't have never. I found that picture as a favor because people wanted to see it, and I sent it to you all, and now I'm starting to regret it. Anyways,
that was a great story.
I've caught my breath.
I've got to be honest. The whole time you were talking, I didn't think of a single one, like that would compete with something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Like I don't have anything like that. I will say that every morning when I wake up, I go, life's not fair. I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Am I right? Relatable.
Go ahead, dig yourself out of that one. Go ahead.
No, maybe like there's some times when our favorite football team has been playing where I definitely felt like this is not fair.
Wrong. Yeah.
But that was like 10 years ago, and now we're feeling better.
Kinda, yeah. We're looking up, but what else are we doing here on this episode? Do you want to run another mile?
Honestly, man, you just kind of yapped for a while. So,
the thing is,
you had one more Q&A though, didn't you?
I don't
no,
think
you
so.
didn't. You didn't. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So no, yeah, I once I recovered from that whole running thing, I actually feel so alive right now. Maybe I will run again. Every time I'm in the middle of running, I hate it. Every time I like recover from it, I'm like, all right, was that really all that bad? It was 8 minutes of my life, but
yeah, that's what I felt. I kept looking down at the clock and I was seeing, like half a mile, and it's only been like 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes.
That's the thing. It doesn't take any time at all.
Oh, this is like what else would I have been doing? Talking to Matt? No.
Gross. Should we race to see who can turn off the recording first?
No, I'm going to add something first. So I ended it first. I want everybody to know I ended it first. But I've now turned it back on to let everybody know that I ended it first.
Is Tyler there?
I'm going to end it again. See you guys. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This clown, man.
Show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.